An excited crowd has gathered at Lebanon Valley Speedway. And the monster trucks are ready for side-by-side racing action coming up next. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the all-stars of TNT's Monster Truck Challenge. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Today we come to you from upstate New York for Monster Truck Competition. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Lee alongside Army Armstrong. We're at the Lebanon Valley Speedway outside Albany, a fine racing facility.
Well, Gary, yes it is. As a matter of fact, a few years ago it was voted Racing Facility of the Year. That vote was taking place by the racers throughout the country. Both drag strip and circle track, they got a class operation here. But today we're going to find out just how good these guys are. It's been raining hard all day long. Are we going to be able to get the track and racing condition? That's the big question right now, Gary.
Well, the track crew right now is scraping off that moist surface, trying to find a dry surface, so obviously qualifying will be vital.
Well, it'll be vital because qualifying gives you lane choice. The way they're grading the track, there's going to be a high side and a low side. In this sport, you want to run the low side because it's a dry side, so qualifying should be some rocket rides out here.
Track preparations continue, as does the rain delay. We'll take this break and come back to upstate New York. On Trucks and Tractor Power, we are in upstate New York, overlooking the Hudson River through Albany, New York, approximately 30 miles from West Lebanon. We have had about an hour and a half rain delay here, Army, but the fans have been very, very enthusiastic. They have endured Mother Nature. We have concluded qualifying. We are ready for side-by-side racing action on a very muddy track. And there is your fast qualifier, the Carolina Crusher, Gary Porter. He will take on Nightlife with Dave Wyzorek. Porter out of Wadesboro, North Carolina. He likes these long, fast tracks.
Well, both of these drivers really enjoy the long track. The interesting point right now is lane choice. Quick qualifying time, went to the yellow truck. He gets lane choice and goes to the bottom or the inside of the track where it's a little bit flatter. What he's speculating is that the high side track, the vehicle will have a little bit of problem handling. Let's see, Wyzorek seems to do well coming off the first set of cars, Gary.
Wyzorek has the advantage the second wrap.
Oh, what
an upset, if you will. Dave Wyzorek takes the victory. Now, keep in mind that as a fast loser, Gary Porter can come back in round two, but Dave Wyzorek for sure will advance with this upset victory in round one. And on the replay, we can see that Wyzorek got the whole shot, and Gary Porter could not make up the difference in no man's land, and there's the difference in victory.
Dave, tell me about the track conditions out there right now.
Well, the track's a little slick off the line. I spun a whole lot. I should have probably cleaned my tires before I pulled up to it. But other than that, it's not too bad. My truck's hooking up real good, and I'm getting some real good passes.
These New York fans have been waiting for this shootout between Steve Wilkie and the USA 1 and Rambo out of the state of New York. This is Bill Weaver.
Bill Weaver Jr. comes out. This is almost a scenario of the old-time gunfights. Wilkie on the left of the screen, one of the big guns in the sport. Kid out of New York would love to put a notch in his gun by putting him away. Hey, he just might do it. Look at this. He's running him strong down the track, Gary. I think they got together.
Maybe some very slight contact there at the finish line.
Look at the people in New York are loving it.
Let's take a look again, waiting for the official word. Now watch Wilkie get in trouble right here, coming off that first set of cars.
Yeah, he has to come back and try to get it in lane.
There was some contact right there. Let's see how the officials call it. Well, now we understand that Bill Weaver is the victor. Here's Bill.
Running the right name on the truck. Rambo, you weren't intimidated by him at all, were you? You flat went for his throat.
No, we usually don't run with these people, but we run with people just as hard, like barefoot, and we can't slow down for nothing.
There's a chance he might come back as second or first quick loser. Does that bother you a bit, or do you feel confident with the truck?
I feel comfortable. It don't bother me one bit.
Rambo's going the next round. You'll be there. We'll be watching you.
Thanks.
Another local driver these New York fans can cheer for, Johnny K. John Kwasniewski in the Buffalo Tremor. He's alongside Scott Stevens, the Auto Value King Crunch, with the in-cab radio. Let's see if we can talk to Scott Stevens.
Scott Stevens, Army Armstrong. Is everything 100%?
I believe we don't have second gear. I'm pretty sure we've lost that qualifying.
And let's take a look back to qualifying. They're running against the clock now, despite the fact that they're running two at a time. King Crunch.
He paired up against Bigfoot qualifying. Bigfoot on the right side of the track. Get a real good shot of the suspension. But look at Scott Stevens. He definitely has a transmission problem. But Gary Lee, this is going to tell us the whole story of the track, this run here. Because if he doesn't have second gear, he'll have to use high gear only. And that would not work on a good biting track. It'll only work on a bad track. Look at this.
Well, he takes the victory with high gear on what we would call in oval track racing a tacky racetrack.
Yeah, it's really slimy out there tonight. You know, this tells us right now this will not be a horsepower track, Gary Lee. It's going to be a finesse and a driver's track tonight.
Perhaps another problem behind the cab. Let's go down and talk to Scott Stevens.
Scott, you said second gear was going away when we were talking to you on the racing radios. This is not a horsepower track. You can still pull this thing off.
Yeah, the truck worked real good. Turned a little more RPM than we really like to, but everything went pretty good. You know, the next rounds around we're really going to have to gear up for. And, you know, we knew that Johnny K's truck was running good, but he was having a little trouble with that lane earlier. And, you know, next race with Bigfoot's the one we really got to, you know, worry about. Just got to do the best we can do.
Well, Army's talking about the next race with Bigfoot, but first, Bigfoot and Andy Brass will have to eliminate Kid Rarig in the Thunder Chicken as we look out of the Thunder Chicken cab.
Well, a moment ago, I made reference to the condition of the track. This track is ideal for the yellow truck for Kid Rarig. He's not really up on the horsepower. Andy Brass is going to have his hands full because they've been having chassis problems for 3 or 4 weeks now. Horsepower doesn't mean anything on this track. This is kind of like ballet dancing with a rhinoceros, man. You're going to have to be super smooth to get there. Okay, this is what I mean. Look at this.
Well, Andy has trouble coming off that first line of cars. He's all over the racetrack. And Kid Rarig in a big upset. The Thunder Chicken will advance.
Gary, I tell you, Bigfoot, I don't believe has a quick enough time to even get back in this program in the loser bracket.
Well, this could be the worst performance ever for a Bigfoot 8 truck. Look at this. Andy Brass driving like a rookie. That looks like me out there driving that truck as Kid Rarig, very straight, under control. He takes the victory. He's down with Army.
Yeah, there's an old song out. If you're going to take a licking, it'll be the Thunder Chicken. I think you can go back to the Bigfoot people and start whistling that right now.
Yeah, I think this is what you call one of those miracles. I heard my truck started stumbling, and I looked over, and Bigfoot wasn't doing what he's supposed to do.
You know, now, for your sake, you say it's a miracle, but you run hard every time you go out with these guys. You just might be due for a win right here. The truck ran good.
I do my best. I'll just go round after round.
You're going to the next round, and he's going in the trailer.
Thank you.
Army, you get to talk to all these drivers. Now let's give a fan a chance to ask Kid a question.
I'd like to ask the driver of Thunder Chicken how much air pressure is in his tires.
Okay, Karen, thanks for the question. About how much air that we use on a course? Well, this here is the long course. These courses that we run for TNT outdoors are long courses, and I'll run maybe 8 pounds in the front, whereas in the back the truck's a little bit lighter, so I'll run 5.5. Whereas the indoor courses that you see in the stadiums, I'll maybe run a pound, a little bit less in the front, and maybe 4.5 or 5 in the rear.
When was the last time that Andy Brass and Bigfoot was sidelined in round 1? He's standing by with Army Armstrong.
Big question this year, why isn't Bigfoot starting to win? They come out with a new truck, everybody's scared to death of them, but could it be a case of you might just be too far ahead, or what exactly is it? I'm confused. I know you guys got to be confused.
Yeah, it's got Donnie, my crewman, and I both baffled. You know, we've been out here on the tour, and it's been turning right on us a whole lot. I think today a lot of it is just the track. You know, the track's really bad out there. It's sloppy. Between the cars, a lot of times a lot of guys are having real problems trying to keep it straight. You notice USA 1 and I myself, we have the 2 fastest trucks probably in the country. Both of us gain a lot of wheel speed between the cars, and as soon as we're getting into the truck a little bit, you know, we're just breaking loose and sliding around.
Okay, now I'm going to be the devil's advocate here, Andy, but this is my job. You're a better driver than that. That's the same track that everybody else has to run on. You know how much horsepower you have. Shouldn't you be compensating for it?
Yeah, we're trying to compensate for it, but at the same time, you know, it's like I say, it's rough. You know, we've been having a lot of problems with the truck, and I've been trying to lay down some real slow, smooth runs, you know, just trying to get used to it, and it's not working today. I don't know what the problem is.
Well, Army, don't tell him I said he looked like a rookie out there. We got round 2 coming up momentarily. Stay with us.